I want you to echo me. Listen what sound is the same at the beginning of these words. This is one of those lessons I don't like to have to teach, but we have to do it anyway. Ethan, check your arms. Thank you. My turn first. What sound is the same at the beginning? My turn. Knife.
Knife.
Knee.
Knee.
Knock.
Knock.
What sound did you hear the same in? Knife, knee, knock. 3 times. It was the n sound, which sounds like just a plain old letter N. We learned that the very first day of school. Oh, Miss Smith. N says n. You're right. But in these words, I'm only going to keep talking when I have kids sitting all the way up. Your chair should be scooted up, and your hands should be on top of your desk, not in your desk. And just like this row, your eyeballs should be up here. Thank you. Connor, that means this way. Thank you. Much better. The problem is that in these words, the letters saying n are not just N, they are K-N, K-N, K-N. Now, here's the part I don't really like to tell you about. It used to be a long time ago that these letters, K, N, together said K, N. We used to be able to hear both of them. K, N. Or if you said it fast, Kn, Kn, Kn. Yeah, like that. So, hands down. Instead of knife, like, oh, the butcher has a knife. It used to be knife. Will you try it? Knife. Instead of knee, like, oh, I have a knee. We used to say knee. Instead of knock, like you can knock on the door, we used to say knock. Yeah, it sounds kind of weird. Well, along came a king, a super mean king, and he decided he didn't like to have to say knife, knee, knock. He thought it sounded silly. He wanted to just say knife, knee, knock. So he came along to K and N together, and he said, K-N, I like the N, I don't like the K, off with his head. You remember, this is that naughty king that sometimes changes words. And he took out the letter K's sound. We still see the letter K, but we don't hear it anymore. It's now something called a ghost digraph. It's now something called a ghost digraph. Thank you. Which means we still see both letters, but we only say one of the letters. We used to say the K. It used to be there. It's not anymore. So I underline the digraph, cross out the K. Someone knew it. Underline the digraph, cross out the K. Cross out the K. You got it. And now it's called ghost digraph KN. Ghost digraph KN. Now, some of you have been asking me about my little ghosts over here. Miss Smith, when do we get to see the ghosts? The answer is today. So I'll show you this first one if I see that everybody is sitting in power position. Thank you. It's ghost digraph KN, and you might notice that poor little ghost digraph KN looks kind of worried. The reason for that is he's worried that you're going to accidentally forget we don't say the K anymore, and you're going to accidentally say knife, knee, knock, and everybody will laugh at you and make fun of you. That's why he has a worried face. Alexa, check your hands. That's why he's worried. Oh no, what if they forget? Don't say the K. Do it just like he did. Don't say the K. He's worried you might forget and make a little mistake, which is okay if you do, but that's what he worries about. Now I'll show you the next one. Listen, what sound is the same at the beginning of these? My turn. Gnat.
Gnat.
Gnaw.
Gnaw.
Gnome.
Gnome.
What sound did you hear at the beginning of gnat, gnaw, gnome? 3 times. Nice job. But Once again, it's not just the letter N, saying N. It's the letters G, N, G, N, G, N. Nice job. Here's what happened though. A long time ago, okay, you two scoot your desks all the way back with bench. Yep, and you're sitting all the way up. It used to be that we pronounced the G, that instead of gnat, like a little gnat that flies through the air, we used to say gnat. Who knew it? We used to say gnat. Instead of gnaw, like the dog can gnaw on a bone, we used to say gnaw. One more, gnaw. Instead of gnome, like a little gnome that lives in a garden, we used to say gnome. One more, gnome. Until along came that mean king. And he said, G and N together. I like the N. That's great. Letter G. Letter G. Off with his head. And now we say, underline the digraph, cross out the G. Not cross off, cross out. You can try it if you know it. Underline the digraph, cross out the G. Underline the digraph, cross out the G. Now we cross out the G because we don't say it anymore. We just say gnat, gnaw, gnome. Who can do it? Gnat, gnaw, gnome. Ethan, right with me. And I will put our little G up here. Okay, I think I have a ghost for GN too. Let me peek. Ah ha 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 ha. Who can do it? Ah ha 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 ha. Okay, this one, this GN looks kind of scared because he's worried too. Oh no, what if you forget we don't say the G and you accidentally say gnat, gnaw, gnome? And what if the king gets mad at you too? And what if the king says, off with your head? I can't stand it, it's so scary. So he looks a little bit scared that perhaps the king might take off your head too if you accidentally say the G sound. Maddie?
Can you code it?
Oh, code it on here? I guess so. Can we just say underline cross out though, because that's faster. Ready? Underline cross out. Maybe let's do it here. Let's do it all together. Ready? Underline cross out. Okay. Now, here's my favorite one. You can put hands down. My turn first. I'll give you a clue. This one is not a letter N sound. What do you hear at the beginning of these words? My turn. Wrist.
Wrist.
Wrap.
Wrap.
Wren.
Wren.
What sound do you hear the same at the beginning of wrist, wrap, wren? 3 times. But it's not just the letter R. There are 2 letters saying They are W, R, W, R, W, R. Whoever was saying that, I'll be the teacher. W, R, but just like the other ghost digraphs, something sad happened to this one too. Because we used to say we used to say the W-R together instead of just wrist. We used to say wa-wrist. I have a wa-wrist. Instead of wrap like you wrap the presents, we used to say wa-wrap, wa-wrap. Wren, like a wren is a type of bird that flies in the sky. We now say wren, but we used to say wa-wren, wa-wren. We used to say the W sound until along came that mean king and said, W-R can go together. I like the R. Letter W? Letter W? Off with his head. Off with his head. Off with his head. And he got rid of the letter W in those words. Shabby, your mouth is closed. Put your hands all the way down. So now we don't say the W anymore. And I think I have, oh yeah. She's my favorite one actually. Can I get a drum roll? She's WR, and the reason she has her mouth open like this is because she's kind of a silly goose, and even though we're not supposed to say the W in these words, she still likes to do it. And she doesn't like to just say it, she likes to sing it. So if she were to see a word like wrist, she would go, wa wrist, I have a wrist. And she sings the W sound. If she saw the word wrap in a book, I wrap the present, she would get so excited and say, wa wrap, wa wrap, wa whoa, 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 wa wrap. And she goes kind of crazy. Wren, oh, the wren was flying in the sky. She would freak out. Whoa, 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 wren, wren, wren. And people might kind of cover their ears and say, whoa, 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 WR, you're kind of loud. You're kind of freaking me out. And she would look around, what other words could I find with wah-ruh, wah-ruh, wah-ruh? Because she will sing about them. So my turn first. Wah-ruh. Can you do it? Wah-ruh, 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 oh, brother. Okay. So I will, Ethan, you can just keep your hand down, dude. I will put her here. And Maddie, I know what you're going to say. Can we code her? Yes, we can, but I'm just going to do it kind of fast with an underline cross out. It goes, underline cross out. Nope, in a normal voice. It goes, underline cross out. Uh-oh, I still have kids being silly. Listen to me. It goes, underline cross out. Try it again. Underline cross out. Thank you. And these are now called not just digraphs, but ghost digraphs. Who knew it? They're now called ghost digraphs because we used to say both letters and now we don't. One of them is dead. So sorry.